It's almost 7:16. Stranger in town. Dr. Taylor. Ed
Good
Kelly.
morning.
Good
Wow,
morning.
it's been a long time. How y'all doing?
Doing good.
Good.
I gotta bring up the. What? Give me the website again.
It is Taylor Hearing Centers with an S.com.
Let's see if it's in memory. Taylor Hearing. Follow along with what I'm typing. Taylor Hearing Centers, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Dr. Matt Taylor's here today, and it's loading. Oh, Speedy. My computer's called Speedy.
Yeah, we've got those too.
That's right.
Follow along with us, TaylorHearingCenters.com, 888-542-0091, and you can hit all locations. You've got Arkansas and Memphis, Tennessee.
Yes.
Y'all stay busy.
Yeah.
A
And
little
do
bit.
Fantastic job. So what's going on?
It's hard to believe tomorrow's May already, and
Thank
May
goodness.
is Better Hearing Month.
Is it?
Yes. So it's our big celebration of hearing and how important hearing is to your life. So we encourage everybody to get a hearing screening. It's painless, at least if it's even a baseline, to find out if you've got hearing loss or not, or if you got anything medical going on that we need to have looked at, and see what options are available to help improve your life and that of those around you.
Who's susceptible to hearing loss?
Everybody on the planet.
There you go.
And any age. There's not, there's not a certain, I hit this age, my hearing starts to go. Yeah, as we age, we all know things don't always get better, but, nerve tissue starts to degenerate. But sometimes people are born with hearing loss.
Really?
So, yeah, our state is very good. We've got a good infant hearing or infant screening program where they check the structures of the ear to see if they're intact and functioning.
What would cause that in a newborn?
You can have congenital defects that,
Really?
affect
Is
the
it
head.
something that
and
will go away with age, or as the child matures?
Usually,
No.
they'll determine if it's something that could be medically corrected. Sometimes it's permanent damage that can't be.
When you brought that up, I saw on Facebook the other day somebody in Little Rock had posted a child, I'm going to say they're about 18 to 24 months, being fitted for a hearing device. And, of course, the child was a little scared, and he kind of started crying, and they put the device on, and they started talking, and he looked, and he smiled.
Yeah.
Like, wow. It was amazing.
Yeah, if you go on YouTube, there are videos of, children and people hearing for the first time, and have a box of Kleenex with you because it's pretty touching.
What about all the iPods, iPads, and all the devices where they've got the little earbuds inside the ears?
Yeah, noise exposure. That's one of the leading causes of damage to the ears.
Don't they cap those at a certain dB level, though? I don't think they can go past, but I'm sure the kids know how to bypass that.
Yeah. If your kids are like mine, if there's a way around it, they'll find
They'll
it.
find it.
Yeah, there are limiters that get put on different devices. Years ago, I saw a study about loud toys.
Really?
Because think about it. A lot of, you see kids, they'll grab a toy, they put it right up to their ear.
Oh, yeah?
And kids were causing themselves noise-induced hearing loss by putting that loud toy up to their head.
I remember as a kid in the mid-'60s, my brother got this little pulled-behind chicken. Clock, clock, clock. About drove everybody crazy, but it was noisy.
Yeah.
It is. It's huge. And it depends on all the hobbies that you're exposed to as well.
Really?
And what you do in your daily life.
What about a carpenter running a radial arm saw or a circle saw or
Oh,
a
yeah.
jigsaw or
Please use
reciprocating?
hearing protection.
Yeah, it all has to do with the noise level and the amount of the dose that you receive, how many
say
hours.
that again now.
It has to do with the loudness of the device or wherever you are, say, in the factory, and how long you're exposed.
How long
would,
you're exposed.
Would a loud pop or explosion of 100 dB be more damaging than something at 88 dB for 3 hours?
I'd have to get out the formulas and do the calculations, to be honest with you. A lot of times a sudden blast can do more damage because the ear doesn't have as much time to react to that loud noise and protect itself. So there are some built-in mechanisms that the ear has on its own physically, but it can just vary depending on the noise level and the exposure. So wear hearing protection when you're around loud noises, please. Earmuffs, earplugs. We do custom earplugs. They're the earmuffs. There's all kinds of different types out there, but please use something when you're around loud noise.
Well, back when we were doing a lot of target shooting with pistols and rifles, you know, I had a 44 Magnum. That thing was loud. I mean, it was unbelievable loud. And I thought, I can't shoot that. And I mean, one shot, my ears were ringing for 3 days. I put it away, and next time I got out, I was doggone, I meant to get some earplugs. So I had an old pair of stereo headphones that the cord had frayed, so I cut the cord off and used those, and it worked. You know, it didn't stop it, but it sure muffled the loud.
Anything's better than nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they make some devices now that you can leave in, and they will bring in the environmental sound until there's that concussion of the blast, and then they
Instant compression.
Instant
yeah, and then
Yep.
they stop up and do their thing, and then they go back to where you can hear the environment around you.
Interesting. Now, let's bring that into the office. Folks that are dealing with this, whether they need hearing protection, a hearing check, whatever we need to see Taylor Hearing Centers in a location near you.
That's right. There are several of them out there in the listening area, and you can call our 800 number, 1-800-690-3896, and we'll be happy to transfer the call to the clinic nearest
Where did I
you.
get this 888 number? Is that valid?
Oh, that must be the one that goes into the call center where they track,
Okay.
traffic off the website.
I see.
So, yeah, see how effective things are for us. So,
Working good. Now let's talk about the locations. We've got several minutes here before we go to the first break. Mountain Home, Monticello. See if I can remember. Mountain Home, Monticello, Heber Springs. You're in Memphis, and I'm missing some.
there's Mountain Home, Mountain View,
Mountain
Heber
View,
Springs,
Heber.
Clinton,
Oh, I forgot
Cherokee
about-
Village, Jonesboro, 2 locations in Memphis, and we've got service centers in Covington and Munford,
Really?
Tennessee.
Also in
and,
Melbourne.
in Melbourne.
Wow.
So,
you've expanded pretty good in Tennessee.
yeah, it's been growing over there.
Wow.
And they're probably in about, I think my last count was 18 different nursing homes. The 2 clinics split up time as it's going into other nursing homes to help facilitate and see those patients that are in nursing homes that are unable to travel, A, to our service centers,
Really?
or B, to our offices.
Interesting. Wow. I didn't know if you expanded that well. So you're Western Tennessee pretty well. And what were those cities over there now?
Covington, Mumford, and we've got 2 locations within Memphis proper.
Yeah.
One on Poplar Avenue and one
Oh,
on
yeah.
Elvis Presley.
Wow. Amazing. I see we've got some pretty good information there. Do you know that hearing address? Oh, wow. Okay. This is something we're going to have to talk about in a second. So we're coming up on the news break here in about 2 minutes. Give me a preview here.
These are some interesting tidbits about how hearing and other illnesses or things that you can have going on with your body are related. It could be medications, it could be diabetes, it could be hypertension, smoking, obesity. So all these different factors that you wouldn't think can affect your ears and your hearing that actually are related.
1 in 3 people over the age 60 have hearing loss. Well, I got 3 more years before I get there. 1 in 14 Generation Xers aged 37-48 already have hearing loss, so I'll pass that one. Baby boomers. 1 in 6. There we go. 1 in 6. Ages 49 to 69. You know, I was in Murfreesboro visiting my son not too long ago, and he said, man, that TV's making this high whistling sound.
Mm-hmm.
I said, but what frequency? He said, I don't know, probably 12, 13, 14, 15. I said, I can't hear it. He said, you can't hear that? No. So I know I've got that real high frequency loss.
That's typically where it starts.
And you know, Matt had mentioned earlier that not only is it painless to come in and get a test, it's free.
Really?
So what's it going to hurt to come in and get a baseline and see where you're at? At least you know where you're at.
See the spectrum, yeah.
Yeah.
1 in 5 teenagers have some type of hearing loss.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's
It's
a high ratio
affecting,
right there.
It's affecting more and more young people
Yeah,
because of their constant noise exposure.
yeah. And thank goodness I haven't heard a lot of those bass woofer speakers in a while. As much as I like music, I don't want it just blowing the back window out of the
Right.
car truck. You know. That
Well,
boom,
it
boom,
needs
boom,
to
boom.
be it needs to be quality, not quantity.
Yeah.
I mean, your sound needs to be crisp and clear and beautiful, not
Yeah.
blasting your ears out.
There's actually, I saw some videos on YouTube about the bass where they're moving so much air with the subwoofers
Yes.
that a girl stuck her head on the passenger window and it was blowing her hair. Like they were
Yeah.
driving 40, 50 miles an hour with the windows down.
Yes.
They were in a parking lot with the subwoofers. And I mean, her hair is just
And,
going like,
and imagine sitting in an enclosed space
Yeah.
with the windows up, what it's doing to your ears.
oh, it's just got to be blowing them away.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway, wow. Visiting with Dr. Matt Taylor and Kelly. Follow along, TaylorHearingCenters.com. Get on your laptop or your iPad and follow along while you're on the radio. We got the news break coming up. More with the doc right after this. 7:34. Back with Dr. Taylor and Kelly, and I'm going to let y'all talk. I guess I sent a text to Senator Flippo real quick. Hang on. I'll put, okay.
So you just want us to roll with it, huh?
You know, this, I like this book right here. It says, did you know that your hearing health has a direct effect on your overall health? What about dementia and stuff like that? Is that a...
Well, yep. In fact, in
What
here, a few pages back, it's like on 5 or 6, they talk about cognitive abilities, you know, and stimulation to the brain. It's real important to keep the brain stimulated
Yeah.
and active. You know, as they say, if you don't use it, you lose it in some respect. And the brain can be very lazy and forget. That's one of the most difficult things that we have with patients. We bring back hearing, but it takes a while to retrain the brain on how to listen
Process, yeah.
and process and filter out what you don't want to hear from the things that you want to listen to.
Huh. Wow. You know, and I hear so many about these topics. Okay, let's look at depression. Uncorrected hearing loss gives rise to poor quality of life, isolation.
Well, if you can't hear, you can't participate. And
That's
if you
right.
can't participate, you fade away. I mean, think about how many times, you know, Grandpa was left off sitting in the corner. And it's not that anybody was angry with him, but think about all the times that you had to speak up or speak loudly or lean in. Do you think that you looked happy to him? Mm-hmm. And so it's always this force of nature kind of to yell at them and project, and it looks really angry. And so what's Grandpa going to do? He's just going to forget about it. And pretty quick, he's just going to sit in the corner and not participate anymore because he can't hear.
I mean, I see patients, of course, you know, and they come in and they'll say, you know, I'm so worn out from trying to hear that I can't take it anymore. It's the national average statistic that once a hearing loss is identified, most people wait 7 years before they get help. And
That's before they pick up the phone to say, I need a test.
Yeah.
yeah, they'll wait 7 years, so they begin to isolate. Things become difficult. They get physically worn out at times, and they'll sit there and say, I can't take it anymore.
Okay, how do I properly pronounce that right there?
Ototoxicity.
Yeah.
It's hearing loss that,
Ototoxicity.
the drugs affect the hearing. I think last time I was on here, we talked a little bit about aspirin, you know, it's,
Yeah.
and things like quinine, water pills, diuretics, certain antibiotics, anti-cancer drugs, chemotherapy, radiation, some of the anesthetics, just environmental chemicals, as it says there, carbon monoxide, mercury. Anything that goes in the body goes to your ears too.
Because of the
And
blood flow.
that's
'Cause this
right.
over here said that the inner ear was very susceptible to blood flow. The inner ear is extremely sensitive to blood flow. Studies show that a healthy cardiovascular system, a person's hearts, arteries, and veins, has a positive effect on hearing.
Mm-hmm.
Inadequate blood flow, and trauma to the blood vessels of the inner ear can contribute to hearing loss.
Yeah, the ear, you know, needs blood. It needs the oxygen to function just like the rest of your body, and if it's cut off and restricted, then it's going to suffer.
Well, and, you know, I think that one thing that people don't recognize is that we really take seriously going to the dentist every year, going to get your eyes checked every year. Why do we not check our ears every year? I mean, are your ears not part of a huge part of your functionality? If you can't hear, it doesn't matter what you can see, or, if you've got a mouth full of bad teeth. If you can't hear what the other physicians are saying, or even what your spouse is saying, or what's going on with your health. So really, people put their ears on the back burner, so to speak, whereas they find vital importance in their eyes and their mouth. Let's put some of that importance in your ears as well.
Things to ponder, huh?
At least. Wow. Smoking. Current smokers have a 70% higher risk of having hearing loss than non-smokers.
Again, it's chemicals in the bloodstream. Yeah, a lot of things that you wouldn't think about in this book that normally, again, you just wouldn't think about, that affects your ears and your hearing, that we encounter every day.
Well, and, in your industry, how important are your ears?
Oh, yeah.
And
Could you imagine a deaf talk show host? I mean,
right,
I
exactly.
wouldn't go very far, would I?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And people don't realize that the longer they go and leave their hearing loss untreated, they begin to lose understanding.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't get that understanding back. I can't bring that back for you. I can treat your hearing loss and we can keep it from declining any further, but I can't make you re-understand or retrain your brain to hear all of those sounds that you've lost over 7 years.
Okay, so let me think of how to ask this question. What you're doing today, we're basically telling people that hearing is as much part of health
Absolutely.
as
Yes.
the heart,
Absolutely.
the liver, the pancreas.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
it's
it's-
because we take the, I think of hearing and eyes. I'm being educated myself today. Okay, yeah, it is a health factor.
It's a huge health factor.
Yeah.
I mean, even just day to day, if you can't hear and there's an ambulance flying up behind you,
Or tornado sirens,
Or tornado sirens,
it's a safety issue too.
Yeah.
huge.
You need to hear your doctor's orders. You need to hear about things with your medications. How many times do we encounter, I know we do daily, where the spouse is the interpreter, or the daughter or the son or whoever. There's another person there that is the interpreter. And sometimes things get lost in translation. Sometimes it's like reading a text message, You can take it one way other than the way it was meant.
Right.
So
Well, and oftentimes when you have an interpreter, how many times have you heard your parents or an aunt or an uncle say, how did your doctor's visit go? Oh, I don't know. You'd have to ask, Susie or Sally, or, I don't know what he said. He just mumbled something out. No, actually, he gave you specific instructions on how to help you,
Yeah.
but you couldn't hear it or understand it. So how important are your ears now?
And the unfortunate thing is, the longer that time goes on and the longer that we wait to get help, the less that's going to come back, the harder it is to rehabilitate and retrain the brain, as we were talking about the brain earlier, to recognize those speech sounds and once again comprehend the speech, especially when there's competing noise.
Well, and I want everybody to remember something. When you break a hip, what do you have to do? You have to go to rehab to retrain your hip how to function.
Mm-hmm.
When you come in and we, diagnose your hearing loss and tell you what would best fit your hearing loss, you're in auditory rehab. You're retraining your brain how to hear. You're retraining your ears how to listen. You are in
Auditory
oral
training.
Yeah, you're in auditory training.
I went
You are-
through that 10 years ago after the stroke.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't move my left hand. Okay, they said, here's what's happened. We have to reteach your brain how to do that.
Yes.
And they described it like a newborn baby. Have you seen a newborn baby and his arms are just, there's no
Yeah.
control. The brain hasn't developed that control yet. And so after a stroke trauma, it had to be retrained. So I can understand what you're saying with the
Hearing loss trauma is just the same. You have to be in auditory rehab. It's a learning curve. Just like 30 days to, undo a bad habit, it's 30 days to create a good habit. Come in, give them 30 days, give them that trial, give them that, and retrain your brain how to hear those sounds.
And how many times do I hear people being treated for depression?
Yeah.
Oh, very common. Yeah. Yeah, as we were talking about earlier, hearing loss, isolation, depression, withdrawing.
Paranoia.
Patients come in and they say, I don't go out to eat anymore. We don't go to Bible study anymore. I stopped going to church because I just can't participate. I can't understand. So I quit. And they begin to slowly become an island to themselves.
And the paranoia fits in because when you see two people speaking, even if it's just the distance from 10 feet away to the sink, and you see your wife and your daughter talking, you begin to automatically assume that they're talking about you because you can't hear. And so then the paranoia sets in, and I wonder what they're talking about. Well, what did I do this time? How come I'm in trouble now? And then you're angry for no reason at all,
Oh my
except for
goodness.
that you couldn't hear.
So there's more psychological ramifications here as
Absolutely.
well with the hearing loss. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah, sometimes we see people when they find out they've got a hearing loss, they go through the same issues as like depression and anger and guilt and, bartering. So, yeah, a lot of psychological factors can go hand in hand with a hearing loss.
Interesting. Now, common, constant noise. I find myself, I talk to a lot of people, especially during the campaign last year. It seemed like I never shut up and I never stopped listening. And there was a point where I just want to go into a room, close the door, and not listen to anything for a while.
Yeah, it's auditory fatigue.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah. Hit a point where you just got to get away from sound. I experience that sometimes, like at night when I take my hearing aids out. It's like, oh, thank you.
Yeah. I just enjoy the peace and quiet of nothing. Do the ears literally need to rest?
We'll
Yes,
talk about
yeah.
even the study that they talk about the earplugs wearing while you're driving.
Oh, yeah. I was at a seminar. It's been a long, long time ago. And one of the big gurus in our field that's got tons of patents, and he passed earplugs out to everybody and said, these are filtered earplugs. I want you to wear them the next time you make a long trip. So I had them in the glove box, and we were headed 800-mile trip, so I put them in my ears. I could still hear the radio. I could still hear my wife and my daughter talking, but I wasn't picking up all the road noise.
Yeah.
So when we got there, I wasn't as tired.
Yeah. It eliminated the fatigue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Visiting with Dr. Matt Taylor and Kelly. We need to take a quick break. Sean Handy and other things. Be right back. 11:51, closing out the program with Dr. Taylor and Kelly. What else we need to cover while you're here, gang?
Well, we want to invite everybody for a free hearing screening in our office, just here in Mountain Home. It's 424-4600 or 1-800-690-3896, and we can route you to the clinic nearest you. We're also having an open house a week from today here in Mountain Home at 202 North College, just down from Walgreens, from 11 to 2. So we invite folks to come out and visit our clinic, sign up for a free hearing screening. We'll be having Pettigene hot dogs, popcorn, Pepsi. They've got chances
Branson
to win
tickets.
cash, Branson tickets, and an in-the-ear hearing aid. So come out and have some fun with us and see what we do. And from 11 to 2 next Thursday in Mountain Home.
And of course, the treasure chest will be there.
Yeah, that's right. Chance to win cash.
From the other guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it'll
I
be
can't-
good time.
I can't win that stuff. Well, let's see. We've got about 4 more minutes. How can we encourage young people? Even with Dr. Osgood that comes in, I'm amazed. Young people in chiropractic care.
Mm-hmm.
Now, young people, hearing loss, stereos, earphones, What else am I missing?
Keep the volume down.
Yeah.
Keep the volume down. Make sure when you're doing chores for mom and dad, mowing lawns,
Wear
ear
hearing protection.
When you're out shooting guns with dad
Oh, yeah.
Hearing
or
protection.
with grandpa, hearing protection. And
Well,
you
that's
know,
how I was when I was in my early 20s shooting that 44 mag. I mean, one shot. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, you can do as much damage with one gunshot as standing in front of a 90 decibel press or machine for a week.
I have a cousin who is a hunting guide out in Colorado, and his partner was out with some hunters, and they got a little over exuberant, a little bit of buck fever going on, and they shot the gun while still they didn't get the barrel outside
Oh,
of the truck
no.
window. Well, his partner has experienced such serious tinnitus that it has changed his entire life.
Okay, explain that. We still have 3 minutes here. Tinnitus. What?
Ringing and noises in the ears. As it says right there, 90% of people with tinnitus also have hearing loss. Sometimes people think, well, it's just the noises in my ears, that's why I don't hear. Well, usually the tinnitus is a side effect of the damage to the ear of the hearing loss. So you can, the tinnitus can help to mask out other sounds, but it's a side effect of damage. One of the theories that I've heard there, that nobody knows the exact cause or any way to totally eliminate it. There are management techniques that we have to help folks deal with it, because sometimes it's so bad that people are near suicidal
Yes.
from the noises in their ears. If you have hearing loss and the noises, sometimes a hearing aid or a tinnitus masker can help by bringing in other noises or producing other noises to help kind of shadow it out. I heard a good analogy that think of the ringing in your ears as a candle lit in a dark room. And you focus on that candle, but if I start to bring up other ambient light slowly, your focus isn't totally on that candle anymore. And we can help with managing the tinnitus with different ways or devices that we have.
Talk real quick again about the open house
Yes,
on
next
the 7th.
Week from
next
today.
Thursday, yes, from 11 to 2, and here in Mountain Home on North College, just down from Walgreens, where we've now been for 10 years in the current location. And we're having a great big celebration. You can come out and eat. There'll be Petit Jean hot dogs and
Those are
popcorn
good.
and Pepsi, and
Branson tickets.
we're giving away Branson tickets. You can get a chance to win cash, and we're giving away an in-the-ear hearing aid. So you
Come on out.
can't
Wow.
win if you're not there.
That's
So
right.
come out and visit.
Let's go through the locations and phone number real quick.
We are in Mountain Home, Mountain View, Cherokee Village, Heber Springs, Clinton, Jonesboro, and over in the Memphis area. 1-800-690-3896, or locally in Mountain Home, 424-4600.
And the website is TaylorHearingCenters.com.
Yes.
And a lot of information there.
And we're on Facebook and Twitter, so go to Facebook and give us a like and check it out.
And so we've gone through a whole book of stuff. If you suffer from any of those symptoms, give the doctor a call.
That's right. Free hearing screening.
And it's painless.
Yes. Takes about an hour.
And it's free.
Drop the pride and do it, right?
That's right. Drop
Yeah.
the pride and do it.
That's right. Pick up the phone.
It's good to see y'all. You need
Thanks
to be
a
here a
lot.
little bit more often. My
That's
goodness.
right.
Check it out at TaylorHearingCenters.com. Local phone number 424-4600. That wraps it up. We'll be back tomorrow. Time for the Rush Morning Update, followed by Glenn Beck. We'll see you tomorrow.